Good morning, Year 4. It's Miss Atkin again, and this is Tuesday's literacy lesson. So you need your literacy book and your pencil. The first thing you need to do is turn to your next page and write today's date, which is Tuesday, the 2nd of March 2021. The learning objective, which is to draft an information text, and then the subheading SPAG at the top of your new page. So pause the video so you can write those 3 things. Well done. So, for our SPAG today, we are going to be talking about scientific vocabulary. So pause the video to have a think about what scientific vocabulary we have learnt over the last term. What have we learnt? What words have we learnt? You might have thought of loads of different words that we've learnt because we've learnt so many, but some of the ones that I thought of were prey. We've learnt about prey. When an animal hunts for their prey, it hunts for their food. A predator, an animal that eats other animals, is a predator. We have also learnt producer. A producer is like grass and leaves produced from the sun helps it grow. We also have classification, so how animals are classified, what groups we can put them into. We've also learned habitat, so where animals live, and environment, similar, and species. You might have also said you learned about omnivores and herbivores and carnivores and lots of other things as well. So I've written a sentence including scientific vocab, and I want you to see if you can spot the words and the vocab that I've used. So a sea turtle is classified as a reptile and it's a vertebrate. So pause the video and see if you can spot my scientific vocabulary. From our list, we know that classification and classify is part of our scientific vocabulary. We could also say that reptile is because it's scientific, isn't it? Animals are reptiles or mammals. And also I would say a vertebrate. I think I might spell that wrong. But again, scientific vocabulary because it's to do with the animals. So your first challenge is to write out the sentence and then underline the scientific vocab in the sentence. So you'll need to choose your challenge, write out the sentence, and then you can underline the vocab. So pause the video so you can have a go. If you chose mild, your sentence was, a panda's habitat is the rainforest. The scientific vocab is habitat. You could say the rainforest is one as well, but the main one is habitat. If you chose spicy, your sentence was, there are 3 species of elephant that live in similar environments. So you should have underlined species and environments. If you chose hot, your sentence was, zebras eat grass, which is a producer, and are lions' prey. So you could have producer and prey. So if you got those correct, you underline the correct word, you can give yourself a nice tick. And then we can go on to our next. So, looking at this sentence, I want to see if I've used the correct scientific vocab. It says, there are 3 types of elephant whose homes are in the desert, and they eat grass and fruit. Pause the video and see if I've used the correct scientific vocab, or if you can change it for me. I've written that there are 3 types of elephants. They're not called types, are they? They're called species. So I should have written species. I've also written homes. They are their home, but there's a scientific word, isn't it? So I should have written habitat, or their habitats, or their environment. Did you spot any other ones I could have changed? We could have changed this maybe. They eat producers such as grass and fruit. Your next challenge then is to write a sentence using scientific vocab about this picture. So for example, I wrote, lions in their habitat hunting for their prey because they are a predator. So underlined habitat. I can underline these two as well because they're scientific vocab. You might talk about how they're carnivores, or this animal here might be an omnivore or a herbivore. So pause the video so you can have a go at writing your own sentence. Well done. So you would have chosen your own sentence, but as long as it's got some scientific vocab in there, you can give yourself a nice tick. And then we are moving on to our literacy learning then. So yesterday we wrote our introduction and habitat section for our encyclopedia page. We drafted those using our plans. And today we are going to do the food and hunting section. So if you look at your plan, you will see that there's a box with the subheading food and hunting, which you would have written all of your ideas about how your animal eats. So our challenge today is to have a go at drafting that paragraph. So if you choose mild, again like yesterday, you've got a paragraph structure that can help you structure your paragraph so you can fill in your own ideas and words. If you choose spicy, you've got sentence starters to help you. And if you choose hot, I've got a list of things that you should try and include, which are prepositions, scientific vocabulary, and a fronted adverbial. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is go to our page and write the subheading. So we're all doing the subheading. So go to our page, and at the top of the page I'm going to write my subheading. So the subheading is food, food and hunting. It's on your plan and it's on the task sheet. So we've written the subheading. Now I've written that, I can go to my task sheet and I can use the sentence starters or the paragraph structure to help me. So I'm going to use the sentence starters, and this one says, we need to choose our animal's name and then say are. So sea turtles are, because that's what I'm doing. So starting here, sea turtles are. We're thinking about food and hunting, so looking at my plan, I need to think about what they are. Are they herbivores, omnivores, or carnivores? Sea turtles are omnivores. So I could tell you what that means as well. So as they eat both meat and plants. That's what an omnivore is. Okay, next sentence starter then. They are classed as, thinking about food and hunting, what are they classed as? They are classed as, are they a predator or are they prey or are they a producer? They are classed as, sea turtles are classed as predators because they do eat some meat, so they will have to hunt it, won't they? So they're predators to their prey. Okay, next sentence then. They usually eat. Oh, okay, so looking at my plan, what do they usually eat? They usually eat seagrass. I can do a bit of a list here, and so I need my comma. They usually eat seagrass, fish, and I know sometimes they eat jellyfish too. There we go. Got a list of 3 there. Next sentence then. Its favourite type of food is. Oh, what's it thinking then? So its favourite type of food. Thinking about what I know that they eat. So its favourite type of food is. Oh, I think they quite like hard shelled prey. So that's things like crabs and lobsters. So I could put that in. So its favourite type of food is hard shelled prey like crabs and lobsters. I could add a conjunction here actually, but because sometimes their favourite food is different, isn't it? Depending on the species and how old they are. So I could say, but their eating habits, so what they like to eat, can change as they get older. Or I could say they can change depending on the species. But I'm going to stick with as they get older. Okay, so next sentence, I've done the favourite food. Over to hunt or find their food they. So how do they do it? So to find their food, you might say hunt if they're carnivore, but sometimes they might find it if they're omnivores, if they eat plants as well. So I'm going to go with find. So to find their food, sea turtles forage, so they look for it by swimming around their habitat. They don't really hunt, they just kind of swim and forage the food, so they look for it. And then they spend, I could think about they spend how many hours do they spend eating, or how many hours do they spend hunting, or do they spend the day hunting or the day sleeping and the evening hunting? So I know that turtles spend most of their day swimming and looking for food, so they spend most of their day swimming and looking for food. And that was my last sentence, I think. If I go back, there's not another one. So there we go. So I have now got a nice drafted section of my food and hunting information about my animal, and I used my plan and things that I've learned and the sentence starters to help me with that. So your job now is to have a go at drafting your section. Don't forget to use your plan because it will have lots of information that you have written on it and that will help you. And then choose whichever challenge you'd like to do. Once you've done that, you can have a go at our challenge as well. So don't forget to email any questions or if you need any help to the Year 4 email, and we will do our best to help you. And good luck.